The NBA Cup tournament kicks off tonight. I'm here to preview it all and predict it all and come away with a champion at the end. But as always, drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Your predictions. Who do you think is going to win this tournament? Now, when you're down there, consider dropping a like and subscribing to the channel as we're on the road to 18,000 subscribers, and we can't get there without you. If you like sports content, this is the channel for you. We don't miss days around here. We drop 4 to 5 videos a week. So, again, just consider it. And hey, make it my Christmas gift if you're new around here. Regardless, let's talk about the NBA Cup. In the first round, we have 8 teams, 4 first-round matchups. We have a regular home and away format. The team that has the higher seed in home court is, well, they won that spot based on how they played in group play over the last couple of months. The winner of these first-round matchups will go to Vegas on a neutral site against a team from the opposite side of their bracket. They will then play to go to the finale in an exhibition-style game where the winning team will be awarded $530,000 for every player on the roster. So a lot of these younger teams, they want to win this more so than the veteran teams because they don't have as much money. Simply put, right? But it is a winner-go-home tournament. That I'll leave it at that. Let's go. Let's talk about the Eastern Conference as of right now, where the 1 seed is the Orlando Magic hosting the Miami Heat, one of the most underrated teams this season. The 2-3 matchup is the Raptors, my preseason darling, hosting the New York Knicks. Let's start with that 1-4 matchup where the Orlando Magic played exactly 1 game with all their starters healthy, and then another star player goes down. They just got Paolo back, but Franz is now heading to the sideline for a couple of weeks with an ankle injury. On the flip side, you have the Miami Heat with Tyler Hero and Davion Mitchell dealing with injuries. They're questionable in this one, but honestly, I think they're going to suit up and play tonight. With that being said, the Miami Heat have been one of the most underrated teams this year. They've been one of the funnest offenses to watch as they're free-flowing. They're not as slow as they were in the Jimmy Butler era, and they still have that Heat culture defense. So the Miami Heat have, again, had a lot of upsets this year, and it's because they have one of the best coaches in the game. I think in a one-game setting, the fact that Paolo just came back, he's not really in a groove yet. He's going to have to shoulder a lot in this one to take down a defensive-minded Miami Heat team. I just can't see it happening. If Franz is healthy, I think we have a different conversation. But the Miami Heat on the road here, they're not traveling far. You have the significant head coaching advantage. I think the Miami Heat will get a big-time win here on the back of Norman Powell. Let's say he goes for 25 and the Miami Heat win by 10. Now, my preseason darling, as I mentioned, was the Toronto Raptors. They've already blown my expectations out of the water. I just wanted them to be a team that's in the top 6, avoid the play-in, and Darko Rajakovic shows that he could be a Coach of the Year candidate going forward. Now this year, he might already be the Coach of the Year if the Thunder weren't 23-1. But in this matchup, Darko's going to have to put on another masterclass because he will be without R.J. Barrett, and they will host the New York Knicks, who, outside of Miles McBride being out, should be ready to go for this one at full strength. Let's not forget, the New York Knicks just got OG Anunoby back into the lineup. But with that being said, in group play, Darko has a 4-0 record. They have one of the best defenses, only allowing 100 points per game, and they had a plus 55-point differential. Now, they are a bit undermanned here, like I mentioned a moment ago, and the New York Knicks in this matchup have a more experienced head coach. They have the 2 best players in Cat and Brunson in this matchup, and maybe a deeper team around their star players than the Toronto Raptors. With that being said, Brandon Ingram and Scotty Barnes, they've had incredible seasons, and this team is playing together a very spirited basketball in Toronto. I just think in a one-game setting, I'm going to trust the team that has the more experienced coach and 2 best players. And plus, you guys know I love Jalen Brunson. We're going to have the Knicks move on here. It's not the exciting pick, but I think it might be the right one. So 2 underdogs move on to the Vegas semifinals eastern side of the NBA Cup bracket. Now let's move to the Western Conference side of it. We have the Thunder at the 1 seed hosting an injured Phoenix Suns in the first round. We have the 2 seed Lakers hosting the San Antonio Spurs in the first round, who are also dealing with a big-time injury. We'll start with the Thunder, as they are the 1 seed in this matchup, as I mentioned a moment ago. Isaiah Hartenstein might not be ready for this game, which is significant. Though the Thunder have been dealing with a mountain of injuries this season, it's significant in the fact that this could be the game where it could be the first game this season that all 5 of the true Oklahoma City Thunder starters play their first minute together. The Thunder are 23-1 this season. They are blowing teams out of the water. Shea is an MVP candidate, and he's not even in the top 240 players as far as fourth quarter minutes this season, and they're doing all of this without a large part of the rotation being healthy at the same time. So Hartenstein, though he's dealing with a calf injury, I'm not saying that he is the reason to win or lose this game, but I kind of want to see him play because the full starting group of the Thunder can finally play together this season. Now, on the flip side, Devin Booker's dealing with a groin injury, most likely not going to play in this one. And of course, we also know Jalen Green came back, and then now he had another hamstring injury. He is going to be out for the Phoenix Suns, as he's been for some time now. The Thunder come into this game with the best offense in NBA group play, the best point differential in NBA group play. The Suns have a bit of a defensive edge, but ultimately, no Devin Booker. There's no chance for the Phoenix Suns. With all of everything that I've said so far, the Thunder, they're going to continue to roll, and they will move on to the second round. Now, the LA Lakers come into this game squeaky clean on the injury report. On the flip side, it can't be said that the same cannot be said, there we go, as the Spurs are going to be without their 7'5" phenom in Victor Wembanyama, dealing with that calf injury. Now, the Lakers come into this game on paper cleaning the slate as they have a better record, points per game, points allowed per game, and point differential. When these two teams played earlier this season, Victor Wembanyama was in the rotation, but he got in foul trouble early, and that allowed Luka Doncic to have a 30-point triple-double, which, by the way, he's now second all-time as far as 30-point triple-doubles, having now passed Nikola Jokic. That'll be a fun matchup to watch the rest of the year. But also in that matchup, you had no LeBron James, and DeAndre Ayton went out there and had 20 and 10. So they were able to beat a Spurs team that had Wemby playing portions of that game. Now without him, it's very hard to see the Spurs coming away with a magical upset win in this one. So I'll keep it short and sweet. LeBron's back in the rotation for the Lakers. They will win this one to continue their dominance in NBA Cup play. Now that sets up a star-studded finale in the Western side of it, as we have a potential Western Conference Finals preview. The Thunder on one end, the Lakers on the other. We know how that matchup went a few weeks ago. We'll see if the story changes in a moment. But here is the Final Four. The Knicks, Heat on one side, Thunder and Lakers on the other, as you know. And let's go to this Eastern matchup, as like I mentioned with the Knicks, Cat is dealing with a calf injury. If he doesn't play in that first one and they move on, there's no doubt in my mind he would be ready for the second one a couple days later against the Miami Heat, where the Miami Heat, again, have some guys dealing with some injuries, but they should be ready to go. Both teams would come into this matchup at 4-1 in NBA Cup play. Knicks, slightly better offense, but everything else goes to the Miami Heat. When I look at this game, I say the coaching advantage goes to the Miami Heat. But I also, on the same side of it, the roster aspect goes to the New York Knicks. They have more depth. They have the two best players in this game. And if this game is a higher-paced scoring game, that's the difference that Mike Brown has brought to this New York Knicks team. They are now built for these shootout-style games. But on the flip side, this Knicks team has been with Tom Thibodeau for the last 3 years. They can win these slow-down, grinded-out style of games that Miami would maybe want to play in this, neutral site game, if I can get my words out there. I think the Knicks are built for anything, and if you're telling me that, yes, the head coaching advantage doesn't go to them, but they have an experienced coach with the two best players, I'm going to roll with Jalen Brunson and Cat to get the job done with a quality depth around them over the Miami Heat. But the Miami Heat, they're going to be a thorn in a lot of contender sides for the remainder of this season, especially going into the playoffs. Now, in this star-studded affair, the only thing that you'd have to worry about is Isaiah Hartenstein's calf injury. But if he plays in the previous game, I think he will play in this one against the LA Lakers. And that sets up a 5-0 versus 5-0 matchup where the Thunder, on paper, do have the edge across the board. Now, these teams played a few weeks back. No LeBron James. But the Thunder just utterly dominated the LA Lakers. Luka was held in check. Same can be said about Austin Reeves. The Thunder weren't fully healthy at the time, and they still dominated the Lakers. If I'm not mistaken, that was in LA, but I could be wrong. Regardless of where it was at, this one's at a neutral site, and it does count against the record. To me, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, okay, the Thunder are 24, 25, and 1 at this point in the season. They're due for a loss. And though on paper there are no holes that you can poke in this Thunder lineup, just naturally they gotta lose eventually. They're not gonna go 81 and 1. And for the Lakers team that now has LeBron back in the lineup, this is a team that has young players that could use this extra money. Same with the Thunder, but have Bronny James and Jake LaRavia on this Lakers side that can use this money. I think Luka and LeBron, they're going to get up to play this game. And for the Thunder, though you're young, though you're healthy, I think you're due for an underwhelming loss. And I'll just leave it at that. So I will have the Lakers moving on in an upset fashion. So we have plenty of upsets in today's video. But hey, I think the right pick, the smart betting pick, is to take the Thunder. But I'm going to go with a bit of an upset, have some fun, and Luka and LeBron move on to take on the media matchup, New York Knicks. Can you imagine the stars and the social media presence that would show up to this NBA Cup game? That would do wonders for NBA as a whole and the NBA Cup as a whole going into the future. For the Knicks, same song and dance here. I think Cat would be ready to go for this one, so no real tipping point injuries. The Lakers would come in at 6-0, the Knicks 5-1. I'm sorry, Dallas Mavericks fans, but you have a star-studded guard matchup in this one with Luke on one side and Brunson on the other. Let's not forget, they were once teammates there in Dallas. But on paper, the Lakers have a better defense and point differential. The Knicks, better offense, slightly. But on a neutral site, who do I trust more? Do I trust Mike Brown and Jalen Brunson, Karl-Anthony Towns, the depth that New York has? Or do I trust the LA Lakers, who have Luka, LeBron, Austin Reeves, DeAndre Ayton? All of these players have something to prove in different reasons. And we already know that the LA Lakers, for some reason, love these NBA Cup games. When it comes down to it, when I had to pick one, I'm going to trust the team that has the best player in the game. When I look at these rosters and they're evenly matched, maybe depth goes a little bit in favor of the Knicks. I'm going to trust the best player. The guys that are going to play the most are Luka, LeBron on one end, and of course Cat Brunson on the other. I'm going to go with the Lakers. I think they would become the first team to ever win this tournament twice. They would be able to hang up another banner there in LA, and I'm sure they're going to get so much social media flack because of that. Because honestly, again, another reason I gave the Lakers the edge is because I don't think that come playoff time they will be able to take down the Oklahoma City Thunder. So Thunder fans, don't come at me with pitchforks. Take it with a grain of salt. I think the Thunder, as of right now, it's hard to imagine anybody can step up to the plate in a 7-game series against that team unless their name is Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets. But that's it, man. I went through every single potential game in the NBA Cup, gave you my takes. But now it's your turn. Let me know in the comments section your thoughts, your predictions. What player becomes the MVP of the tournament? Which is the funnest game do you think is going to be there on the table for us to watch? I'm excited to see what you guys have to say. And as always, as a Christmas gift, support the channel.